Hello everyone, Pierce Nation here. Welcome back to a new news segment. Today we are going over the new branded beasted cards. And finally, after 6 months, been waiting on it since the structure decks for the actual branded cards came out. And the token in that set was, in that structure deck, was the Bystial Aliber. And I've been waiting for him to come out for so damn long. So excited when he got announced. I think last night going into this morning. So the Bestial Aliber is insane, especially against mirror matches. Or if you're like splashing any of the Bestial cards in, you might want to like double think that because Branded is going to be able to use them to their advantage now. Now, of course, with me playing Kashtira, I don't really have to worry as much about this deck. I do know that they're probably going to side like Chaos Hunter, stop my banishing effects. But there's a lot of cards that we have that don't care. They become game state once they're on the field. So, but this Bestial branded deck is going to be a real big problem for a lot of you other players playing other decks. So, without further ado, let me get into explaining the Bestial Aliber. So, Bestial Aliber the Aliber is a level 4 Dark Dragon tuner effect. He is a tuner. Now, he is pretty powerful. You can only use the second effect of this card once per turn. Effect 1, this card becomes Fallen of Albaz while on field or in the graveyard. So, if you get it in the graveyard, it does count as Fallen of Albaz. So, there's a lot of cards that also count as Fallen of Albaz, which makes this deck pretty hard to play against, and it makes this whole all of the support that's here makes the Fallen or the Ashen of Albaz a really good card now because you can actually target it, bring it back, and it'll have a shit ton amount of attack. So with the Bestial Aliber here, the second effect he has is that this card is normal or special summon. You can discard one card, then target one dragon monster your opponent controls or in their graveyard. Send this card to the graveyard. If you do, gain control of that target on the field until the end phase, or special summon that target from the graveyard to your field. So you could use this to gain a Bestial to then add like Lubellion or whatever you're wanting to go for, because in the branded Bestial side of it, they do play Lubellion at 3, which is very much correct. In every other strategy, you're just going to play like your Magma, your Druid Swarms, and even your new Ball Drake that comes out in Hyper Photon Nova, which, you know, it makes sense. So you're going to be able to gain advantage off of this. That's why I kept one of my Cortesias, because I had a feeling that this was going to happen, and here it is. So we have our little buddy here, the Bestial Aliber. And next on the list, we do have a Sprite. So this guy is Fallen of Agros. Agros, I think is how you say it. But I'm going to call him Fallen of Agros. Just because it's very easy, generic, easy to say. If I say the name wrong and it's got a different pronunciation, I will correct it later, not now. So, with this, it is a level 2 Dark Thunder effect. Now, with this being said, they could splash this into sprites and actually special summon this to your field when you have a link monster on board, like Sprint, and a link monster that points to this card cannot activate its effects. It means you could just be like, oh, I want to place it in this zone, and right to the zone that the Sprint points to, or the elf, and you can basically knock out the effect, or whatever you're facing. It doesn't really matter. It just really good against links, just shutting them out. But in order to do that, you have to have a level rank or link 2 monster on the field to be able to special summon it to either field, which is pretty neat. Because there's not a lot of times where Branded's really going to be able to throw down a monster like this. This is more, that effect is more for like sprite players, but I mean I could see where in a world that you can do this, because number one, you only need one of these on board. The special summon is not once per turn, as oh yeah it is. You only special summon Branded Aggro's once per turn this way. Well, then that threw me off because it says you only use the third effect of this card once per turn. Well, the first one's once per turn too, so I kind of forgot that. So again, just shutting off the link monster effects during your opponent's turn. Quick effect, you can target one Xyz monster on the field, detach up to 2 materials from it. Just whenever. Like, if they go Zeus and this thing's on board, just go ahead and target Zeus and detach 2. That way, you know, you would really only get like one good burn, and you might even avoid the burn. Because it doesn't have any material to send. So, like, if they even tried, you just, you know, quick effect, just chain it. Has to be on your opponent's turn. So that's the main key with this card. Like I said, Agros is not bad. I like it. So next on the list, we do have an Ice Jade monster. I'm actually happy to see this. I actually want to see Ice Jade be somewhat meta relevant, because I mean they've gotten support. It's just been shit. But this one right here, I like it. This one right here is going to be good. This is Ice Jade Egriani Ran. Level 7 water, Aqua Tuner effect. You can only use the first effect of this card once per turn. You can discard one other Ice Jade card or water monster. Special summon this card from your hand. Then you can special summon one Ice Jade token. Aqua Water level 3, 0 attack, 0 defense. While that token is in the main monster zone, the player who summoned it cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except for water monsters. And it doesn't. The only thing that specifies is while that token is in the main monster zone. So after that, you can do whatever you want. There's no restriction afterwards. And while this card's equipped with an equipped card, it becomes Ice Jade, Sinodi, Inion, Cradle. So, I mean, that's... I don't know how neat that is in the strategy. Again, I don't really know Ice Jades. I would love to build them. Love to try to get to know them. But don't know how good that is in strategy. But without further ado, we'll get on to a card that I am going to like, and you are too. So if you're playing the branded Dogmatica or the branded Despia, or just pure Dogmatica, or Bystial, Despia, branded, whatever you're playing, this card right here is going to be your best friend, because it is treated as a Dogmatica and a Despia card. And it is a level 4 light spellcaster tuner effect. You can only use the first and second effects of this card once per turn. First effect, if this card is no more special summon, you could send one Fallen of Albaz, or one card that mentions it, from your deck to the graveyard. If a card leaves either extra deck, you can target one Fallen of Albaz, or one monster that mentions it in your graveyard, except this card, and special summon it. Which means now that Ashen the Aliber is viable. So that little Bystial Aluber, you can get that now pretty easy, because it does not matter how you get this card, because you can actually get this card with branded opening, because it is a Despia card. That's what's crazy about this card, is you can get this with branded opening, and you can pop off some new branded plays that probably no one's ever seen before. It's pretty crazy. I mean, it's busted. Now note, this card can actually, on the second effect, special summon itself. I don't know why you would do that. No you can't. Actually, it says, except this card. I was about to say, if you could special summon it again, like on your opponent's turn, that would be pretty busted. But it looks like it is once per turn as well, and you can't target itself. So That being said, we'll get on to the trap. The trap is actually pretty broken. I've read over all these cards already. I do like them, so I think you will too. This is the last card that's in the Bystial stuff. It is a continuous trap called Brandon Etude. You can only use the first effect of this card once per turn. So during either turn, you can quick effect immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summoning using material you control, including a dragon monster. So somehow you can use your opponents. I'm not sure how you do this. Maybe I'm just reading too far into it. It says quick effect immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summoning using materials you control, including a dragon monster. I don't quite understand how this is going to work. Actually, I know exactly how it's going to work. So you use that effect, okay, and the second one is where it starts biting people. When you control a bestial monster, your opponent's monsters that would be sent to the graveyard when they are attributed for original summon, used as material for fusion, synchro, or link, are banished instead. So if you're trying to get like Rukalos and stuff, that's great and all, but doing this card currently applying, they couldn't shuffle themselves back. They would end up being banished because they were end up used as the material. Kind of curious on how that whole iteration would go down. Actually, I know exactly how it would go. The Tailment monster could still be summoned because they're not being sent to the graveyard for any of those summons. They're actually being shuffled into the deck for the summon. So, yeah, that's exactly how that would work. So, yeah, every other one it will hit, but like Tyr, this is going to do nothing against it, really. I do look for Tyr to be hit in the nearby future, and I will arrange my list accordingly. I don't think it's going to be hit in the January ban list. I do think once Cashier really hits full power and Cashier tier is the way to go, that there's just no other way around it. You could go pure and it'd be like 50-50, but with the interruptions that the Cashier tier deck can make, it's just undeniably the best. Um, and it will be. Statistics show that the deck is just really unstoppable. Sprite can't do anything against it because they can't set up Toad. And when they do get Toad, we bring up something like Fenrir, and then you out that, but you can't keep outing everything because you're going to run out of Aqua monsters eventually. And we can summon up to, I think, like 8 level 7s per turn. If it goes the right way, that is. Which it really does. Because if you play the Sacred Swords of the 7, banish 1, draw 2, and then you can special summon it off of the effects of the cards, it's pretty undeniably broken. Plus, all the Cashiers are not once per turn on the special summon, so pretty broken there. So like I said, if you're looking for like top meta decks, that's mainly the cards we're going over. I don't really like to go over cards that are like mid or anti-meta, because they tend they tend not to last, and that's the thing. Everybody knows me as, you know, the Blue Eyes deck builder, which I am building a Blue Eyes deck. It's going to be completely different from anything I've ever shown. It has to be splashed with a bunch of other stuff, as the meta calls, in order to survive. But with a deck like branded like this, I think it's going to hit it pretty damn hard, and I don't think I would ever win a game with that deck versus this one because of its ability to just grab dragon monsters in my graveyard and summon them. So, you know, I think for a while, until Blue Eyes gets some really good support, they did back in 2015, I think it was, 15, 16, somewhere around there, within one Worlds, Blue Eyes had like top meta the port, and it was ridiculous for any deck that existed at the time. I don't think it was intentional for it to be that broken. It just ends up being that way because of the cards that were currently out. So, you know, without further ado, like I said, we're gonna be going over cards like this. If you guys want me to go over the new Castillo cards that are coming out in Photon Hypernova, let me know. I've went over the deck already, so I mean, there's nothing more for me to say on that. Like I said, you've got a month, less than a month to prepare for this thing. I should have all the cards by the 4th, doing a deck profile, laying out everything I have for it. And just know that when February hits, if you are not prepared for Kashtira, it will annihilate you. And there's nothing you can do because of it's just how broken it is. And if you look at everybody's deck profile, you'll notice that everybody's splashing in Kashtira Fenrir. Well, it's a great card. Fenrir is such a great card. It's so splashable too, because if you don't control no monsters, you can just go down a 2400 beater that has the ability that when you activate a monster effect, it can banish a card, or when it declares an attack. So, you know, like if you banish a card face down, like it does not come back. And the Fenrir, he really does a really great job of just, you know, whenever opponents go like, oh, kick Kalos, into Kalos, blah blah blah, Fenrir, banish it face down. Then your Kalos is gone. This card is one of the most broken cards of all time. Like I said, I will be playing this deck. I'm currently playing this deck. I think before the new set comes out, I'll show you guys what I am playing. Right now, I'm just not super content with it. There's still a little bit of minor adjusting to it. Be able to play this deck at full power. There's a few cards I'm looking for, but when you're popping off those, you really ain't got much to worry about. Plus, I have all the other Cashier cards as well. So just know that I am going back to regionals this year. I will be posting my results. I will be sharing the website in which I do place, and I will be going over all my matchups and everything. I'll be trying to make blogs between rounds, which I don't know if you've ever played regionals, but it's kind of fucking hard to do because there's not like a whole lot that you can really do with it. So, you know, with that being said, like I said, you guys have any questions on any deck that is currently out, coming out in the future like this, or, you know, just rogue decks. Like, I'm building my buddy a rogue zombie deck right now. I've already got it in the works, already know what goes in it, everything. And we will show that deck profile on the channel, and I'll show you exactly how the combos go on it. If you're interested into a zombie deck that is based on synchroing and linking, I'm not going to give the name of it. It'll be here in like 2 weeks. So, without further ado, I will end the video here. If you guys have any questions, any recommendations on what videos you would like to see, deck profiles, you know, YG Omega, EDO Pro, whatever you want me to put a deck on, and if you want me to play it, like I said, I do have an Instagram at PierceNation47. That is my actual Instagram, and you can comment on a video and I will see it almost immediately. If I don't, I will be a day or two late because my app sometimes does not notify me when people comment. So with that being said, like I said, any questions, just ask them. Make sure if you're new, you like and subscribe. And also comment down below whatever you want to comment. It does not matter to me. I just go over cards, and I go over the meta, and I play in tournaments. So, I guess I'll end the video here. I'm Pierce Nation, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Pierce Nation out.